Hi, this is Tommy Jo from Bird Street Studios. I thought I'd come on real quick and show you something I thought was pretty neat. Yesterday my daughter brought me these little Kraft bags. She was cleaning out her grandmother's house and organizing things and asked if I thought I could use them, and I was pretty excited about it. So she stopped over with them. She had a few of them. And the more I looked at them, the more I thought, man, I think I could make these. So I'm going to show you what I did. So these are two that I made. Here, they're a little smaller because these are made out of an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet. I'm not sure. I didn't open one of these up to see how big it was actually, the paper. But I wanted to show you something that I thought was pretty cool. Okay, I'm not a hoarder, but I do save packing paper. Usually you get it in a box and it's just all wrinkled up like that. But if you look, the new packing paper comes perforated. Okay, so what I do is if I get a big wad of it, and usually it's all wadded up. Hope that's not too hard on your ears. I take it out and I fold it. Okay, so I fold it on the perfs, so then I end up with a stack of it like this. Okay, then when I need some, I tear it apart and I cut it in half. So this right here would be a section, okay? And I cut it in half. And these are 8.5 by 11, and then I run a light iron over them, so I end up with, I have a lot of sheets, okay? And I just keep them in here like Kraft paper, but it's actually packing paper. So what I did was, I had a digital of I'll link it below. I can't remember who created these digitals, but it was actually a bundle that I got. And she had, I don't know how many in each. There were different categories. The bundle, it was a huge bundle, and one of them were these ads or whatever, and there might have been 12 or 16 12 by 12 pages in there. Like I said, I'll link it below. But anyways, I opened it up and I printed it out in my printer on the Kraft paper, on this paper. So I ended up with sheets like these. And I thought if I kind of found a center, okay, which is kind of there, and I folded this maybe like close to the center and then folded this over, okay, that I would end up with a bag. So I noticed on the regular bag that they overlaid probably about 3/4 of an inch, okay? And if I wanted the bags to be reasonable size, I'm not going to do it 3/4 of an inch. So I thought maybe 3/8 of an inch, and that would give me a nice wide bag. So that's what I did. I just centered it, kind of guessed where I wanted to make my fold. Okay. And then I took this and folded that over, and if you line it up, it should be fairly straight. Okay. Like that. Then I knew that on the regular bag, I'm going to move this sheet of paper out of the way. On the regular bag, if you look, the front of it is straight, the back of it is curved. So in order for me to get the curved back and the straight front, I had to somehow cut that. And I wanted it to be kind of even. So what I ended up doing is, this is the front, is I measured down about, let me find my pencil. I measured down about 1/2 inch. So I laid this out here and I made a mark at about 1/2 here. This is the front, right? Yep, this is the front. And then 1/2 right here. Okay. And I knew that this was going to be a straight across cut. But I knew that this part here had to be curved. Oh, I need to even that up, it looks like. Okay, let's even that up. Let me get my cutter. It looks like this part right here is not even, so I'm going to even that up before we go any further. There's just a low spot, so I just want to cut it down to that low spot. Okay. So now I'm going to change my measurement just a little bit to accommodate for that. So, okay. So now my 1/2 inch is going to go down just below that mark, that first mark. Right there. And I want to do the same on the back. Okay, and I'll show you why. On the back, I ended up, just to get a reasonable circle, I took my my compass and I kind of tried to find the middle, like look, I'm looking on my mat here, okay? And I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it hangs over a little bit. So I need to go about 2.5 in the center of this. So it's 1, 2.5 right here. And I want this to be sort of in the middle. So I wanted to kind of start a semicircle here. And bring it over to my 1/2 inch line. But I used the compass just to kind of start it, to give me an idea of how that curve is going to look, okay? And with that in mind, then the front though is going to go straight. So see, this is curved right here, but the front goes straight across. So then I just drew a line with my ruler from there to there. Okay, and then I found, it looks like this has a jagged edge on it, sort of. And I found these scissors. They're called Kraft, I guess. And they're inexpensive scissors. I've had them for years. But they have this little tiny, kind of serrated, sort of scallopy edge. I use these when I'm making faux postage stamps to cut the edge. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'll bet that would work. So what I did was, I first cut it with my scissors just so I could make sure that it looks okay. So I just went from here, made my curve, and went straight across. And these pencil lines that I make, you can erase, or if you cut just below them, you don't have to erase. Okay. Okay. So then I looked to see how close I was. Oh, it's pretty close. Okay. So I just evened this right here a little bit. Perfect. So then the reason I didn't glue this first and then cut is because now I can cut straight across. If I open this up, I can just use these scallop scissors and cut down, over, and up. And that's why your cuts don't have to be exact, because it's going to be a little off based on how we do this. So then I just cut. You don't want to get too close to the edge, because then you end up with just this big tear, these big tears in it, like I just got here. And again, we can even everything off, but look how easy this is. Okay? And we have some little pieces, so I just kind of work those off with my nail or with scissors. Okay. Now, get my glue book over here. Okay, so now if I fold this over, this is what the front looks like, and it looks like I could even this off just a little. There, okay? So now, the next thing I did was I just held this back, and I was trying to figure out where to put my glue. So I took my ruler and put it right here. I opened up my bag. I moved my ruler over just a hair, and I drew another line. That way, this line is not going to show once we glue. Then I opened it up, and I just used my glue stick, and I stayed on the outside of that line and ran a line of glue up there. Okay. Stay inside the line, she said. Okay. Right. Then when you close it up, you have the basic for your bag. Okay. So there's the back. Okay. And then in the regular bag, okay, if you turn it over, they just folded up the edge. And it looks like they trimmed a little off, so they were just gluing this top part, but I didn't do that. Honestly, I just folded it up a little bit. Okay, like this. I did notice that they also snipped, so I went ahead and cut that as well. And I'll show you how I compensated for not cutting off any of this bag. They cut like this piece off on the inside right there. I didn't do that. So all I did was I ran my glue on there like this. Okay, folded it up. And then this part right here that's still open, I just used my glitter glue because it fits right in there. The nozzle fits right in there, and I just ran a line of glue right across there and down. Okay. And then I just pressed it down. And there you go. You have a bag, a little Kraft bag. Now, like I said, it is smaller than this because it's, you know, this is made out of an 8.5 inch by 11 sheet of paper. Let me measure it real quick. So the bag I ended up with is about 5 1/4 across by back from the top back down. It's about 7 1/2. So a little over a 5 by 7. You could make it smaller, obviously. It would be hard to make it much bigger out of a piece of paper that size. But I was thinking, I didn't try it yet, but I was thinking that you could probably put 2 pieces of paper together, glue them, and make a bigger bag. But I also wanted to show you, so we just made this one. I made this one earlier, okay? And it's a little different size. I mean, probably you could be more specific, but I wasn't. Okay, so here's the original that she brought over, and here's the two that I made. And then I thought, I printed, I'm doing my blue journal. Remember, I'm doing the blue journal with the William Morris designed papers. And I printed, I don't know if I have one of these papers in here printed out so you could see what it looks like on regular paper. Let me look, hold on. It's just one of the designs that I have of that paper. I have different papers in each different signature, so let me look real quick. I might not have used that one because if you print it on white, oh, here it is. So here's the paper I used. I printed it on the Kraft paper, and that's how it looks. But now I have a bag that I could use in the journal. I mean, I don't necessarily want to use it on this page, but pretty cool, you know. So anyways, that's my trick of how to make little craft bags out of your packing paper. Like I said, I just get it, and when it comes to me, I stand out in my living room and I unroll the whole thing. It's a big long strip usually, because they just like pull when they pack. And then I kind of get it in something that I can deal with. And then I'll stand there and put it up on my table and just fold it. So, you know, I have different pieces, like, you know, you can see where it didn't really match up or whatever. And I just fold it till I get to the end of the piece. And then if I take this and cut it in half, I get a little over an 8.5 by 11. And if I trim it up, I can then run it through my printer. Or I use these as regular journal pages, just plain. And that's why they're in here. So I keep a bunch in here. When I start to run out, I will go ahead and cut those. But that's what it's made out of. Just packing paper. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little tip and that you try making these on your own. Again, right out of packing paper. It's so exciting. Anyways, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.